Frank Blankenship, psychiatric survivor from Florida. Frank is a longtime activist, blogger, and protester for human rights in the mental health system, and founder of Mind Freedom Florida. Frank chairs the MFI Affiliate Support Committee. Check out his blog, Lunatic Fringe, highly critical of the mental health industry abuses. Frank has participated in a number of peaceful protests of the American Psychiatric Association, including their annual meeting in San Francisco and street theater in front of their office headquarters, Arlington, Virginia. So here he is. Frank.
I hope you're all excited about being here and being a part of this historic celebration and protest, because I certainly am. And I hope you also realize how important it is to make a message right now and to let them know that we've had enough harm come to people and that, you know, we need to do something about this. I was walking around town earlier, and I went past the offices of GlaxoSmithKline. They're right down the street. And you know, while we're marching in front of the convention center, it would be great if we could make a loop around a GlaxoSmithKline. What these drugs do is they target neuroleptic drugs. If anyone's looked at them, what their doctors are really targeting are the emotions. So they do not want people to feel the emotions that they have. This is about suppressing the emotions, because they don't think that people who've been labeled mentally ill can take their emotions, can accept their emotions. So they're suppressing those emotions. And let me talk about some of the reasons I've come here that brought me to this point, why I am here. I am here because I think it's the right thing to do. I've known a lot of people that have been harmed, and even people who have been killed by psychiatric drugs. I know people that are caught up into the system to the extent that they can't leave because they are pressured by their family members, and they've got FACT team members that are pushing them. If they don't take their drugs, the FACT team comes down there and has them committed to the hospital. And this is a tragedy. We know that people are dying 25 years younger than the average population because of the drugs that they are using for people. If you look at the study that was done by these mental health directors of 16 states, in some cases, it was more than 25 years. It was 30 and more years earlier than the rest of the population. The people in mental health treatment were dying because of these drugs. And this is a real tragedy that people need to know about and do something about. That's why I'm here today, because if there's one thing that we know, it is that if psychiatrists cease prescribing these drugs to the extent that they do, they'd be saving lives. And people would not be dying to the extent that they are in the mental health system. And I've seen people that have TD and metabolic syndrome, and you know that with metabolic syndrome, people get diabetes, the very thing that they're trying to compare the mental illness label with in order to get people to accept treatment. And the tragedy here is not only will they get diabetes, or the chances are great that they'll develop diabetes, but they'll also develop heart disease, and the obesity that goes along with it, and another of serious health concerns that can potentially kill them. And we're for choice. We believe there is another way and that people should have their way. They should not be forced to take drugs that will damage them and do harm to their lives and potentially put them in a cemetery, interred. Now, this is news that I feel the mass media is suppressing. If you go over to the APA, you know what the theme of their convention is this year? It's integrated care. By integrated care, they mean connecting the physical health with mental health. Now the problem is, if you give a person neuroleptic drugs because they have a mental illness label, the chances are that they will wind up with a number of physical conditions through this metabolic disease that could end up taking their lives. So right there, these psychiatrists are contributing to this high death rate that we have. And where are we getting with these integrated services? Well, first they give you a label, they give you a drug, and then they destroy your health, and they're talking about getting people to service the health that they've destroyed through the drugs that they gave you. I see a sign that says I should stop now, but that's the message, and I think we need to get it out there, tell people the time has come for a change. Stop labeling human beings. Thank you.